He jokes, he stops traffic. He's a good-looking man, and now he's even better looking. He's behind the wheel of a new Honda from SA's #1 Honda dealer, Dave Potter Honda. Look for Tim on the streets. There's not a lot of him, and most of that is a huge winning smile. A little Tim goes a long way. Tim Ginniver, out on the streets of Adelaide thanks to Dave Potter Honda and 1395 Adelaide's 5AA.
Interactive radio. Call 8223 0000. Peter Godfrey.
20 minutes past 5 now. Let's head to New Zealand, see what's happening over there. Selwyn Manning from livenews.co.nz. G'day, Selwyn.
Yeah, g'day, Peter.
Good week over there?
Yeah, well, weather-wise, it's not too bad. Nice blue skies in Auckland and watching that sun rising further in the north by the day, it seems. So
Yeah.
must be getting close to that winter solstice.
I think we're getting close. Then it'll be winter and I'm looking forward to summer already.
Yeah,
Enough said on that.
I guess if we're all honest about it, we all would be,
Yeah.
wouldn't we? Bring back the sun. That song of the Beatles kind of comes to mind. But, yeah, we're heading for a high of 16 today.
Same. Well, snap. We are too. There we go.
There you
No,
go.
no blue sky here.
Parity on temperatures for once.
We have indeed. All right, we're on to the old smoke and mirrors yet again.
Yeah.
You got, another tale on this. So this is all revolving around your spy agency, the GCSB.
Yes.
Are they spying on people besides New Zealanders? Is your spy agency spying on us, perhaps?
Yes.
Could be the
Well,
question.
These are the things that are coming to pass right now. Now, first, the Prime Minister, John Key, he is refusing to say this week if New Zealand's spy agency, that GCSB you mentioned, has been used to spy on the citizens of other countries. Now, the questions are sharpening in focus as this kind of information and this whole issue really is, well, put it simply, it's like the genie is out of the bottle, and these politicians here in New Zealand just cannot stuff it back in. And it's come out a week after news broke of the USA's PRISM scandal. You know, that huge kind of global data collection spy system that the United States has been found to have had, where it's trawling just about every communication you can imagine. Now, Key was questioned on whether reciprocal data collection has been occurring. Now, specifically what he's talking about there is he refused to rule out. It's one of those weird things where, he won't confirm it, but then he's not going to rule it out.
Won't deny, yeah.
And you can't tell if the geezer actually knows or he doesn't, or he's hiding something. It's really difficult even when you look into their eyes. But he's refused to rule out that the New Zealand GCSB is collecting this data on citizens of other countries. Now, that includes members of the Five Eyes network and then passing that data back to the member countries, like the spy counterpart agencies. Now, so what we're talking about is like a bit of a merry-go-round, a kind of a legal merry-go-round, if you like. Now, what we know is that if the GCSB here in New Zealand has been illegally spying on New Zealanders, but if it followed the letter of the law and acted in a lawful way, well, then it wouldn't be able to. Now, the argument is that other countries, that this GCSB, it's not like it's got human spies kind of peeking around the corner at people. It's an electronic spy system that's hooked into the Echelon network that's amongst those Five Eyes nations. Now, what the concerns are that if the Australian spooks, if you like, or even the United States spooks are wanting to actually get detail on their own citizens, but their law prevents them from doing so, then they just simply get another member of the Five Eyes, like New Zealand or Canada or the United States or Britain in your case, to do it for them. Then the information is kind of handed back to you guys, so you can use it as you see fit. Your officials use it as they see fit.
Okay. So, and meanwhile, their hands stay clean, saying, "Well, no, we didn't get it. Yeah,
we didn't do this. We didn't break any law here.
Yeah.
Not like the New Zealand GCSB lot. They're the ones who go illegally after this kind of thing. But we don't do it. That's the kind of scenario we're talking about. And this has come about. This has sharpened up this type of inquiry about what information is being gathered on behalf of other members of the Five Eyes. Now, remember, Five Eyes is, like I mentioned, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK, and the USA. And this has come about really on the back of revelations that PRISM does exist in the United States.
So will questioning continue on Mr. Key to see whether he would confirm or deny the involvement? Or
Well, all the twists and tales that you can imagine on this particular type of issue will be put at him. He's starting to look mentally browbeaten again like he did earlier this year and certainly last year over these spy things where from every angle he was being questioned, particularly on, once again, this GCSB thing. So, it's going to keep on. Obviously, there'll be a lot of control and concern coming from the more senior members of this Five Eyes network. But New Zealand, how it's going, it's very, very, very much exposed. And I suppose, both of these issues we talk about today are both in this kind of smoke and mirrors genre, if you like, real life genre. The second one, you may remember, Peter, that last week we talked about how a war among New Zealand's centrist political parties had sparked, and New Zealand First and United Future were at hammer and tongs with each other, and how New Zealand First leader Winston Peters was accusing United leader Peter Dunne of leaking a government report. And that government report we're referring to last week was New Zealand's GCSB spy agency, a report that the Prime Minister had ordered one of his own officials to investigate what on earth was going on under the hood of the spy agency. Now, it was leaked to a journalist back in April, and that, the leak was ahead of, if you like, when the government intended to supposedly release it to the public. Now, after this week, the week ended after we talked last week about Peter Dunne being accused by Peters as being the leaker. It ended with Peter Dunne resigning as the Minister of Revenue. On Friday, that was it. He admitted that he had exchanged around 80 emails with a journalist in the days prior to her publishing details of the then secret report. So Dunne, he's still in Parliament, Peter. He holds on to his 30-year political career by a thread. He insists he did not leak the report, but accepts he was stupid about it, and it's kind of confusing as to what his compulsions were. But even then, even if he didn't leak the report, we're starting to question now whether or not it was in the public interest that report came out early before the government further sanitised it. And New Zealand is really quick to forget that in 2010, when the WikiLeaks cables between US embassies and their mothership back in Washington, those cables that were written by the ambassador here in New Zealand at the time had referred to senior Ministry of Defence officials who were leaking cabinet and classified information from the New Zealand government across to the United States at a time when the United States was at war in Iraq.
The plot
that's a huge breach.
Yeah, indeed. Gee, it's never a dull moment in New Zealand, is there? With all this going on.
It's getting like East Germany, isn't it?
Isn't it? The spy central of the Asia Pacific region. New Zealand.
Yes. Who would have thought? We just thought we were all sheep and produce.
Proving the world right. All right, Selwyn, thank you for those story. I'm sure we'll get some updates next week on those and others.
Another twist to the tale, no doubt.
Thanks, Selwyn.
Okay.
All the best.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Selwyn Manning in New Zealand. And for more, head to livenews.co.nz. Anne Stone's got our news coming up next.
Helping a child thrive is rewarding. Could you provide a safe and nurturing home for a child? Find out about the different types of foster care that might be right for you. Visit fostercare.sa.gov.au or call 1300 2FOSTER.